All right. Test. 1, 2, 3. We are live as heck right now. Welcome back to the Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast. My name is DJ Ligori, and this is the first ever filmed Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast. So if you would like to watch this visually on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and you could just probably search Libraries and Weight Rooms, and it should come up. You can also search Acres of Diamonds, DJ Ligori, and it should come up. But I wanted to do this because I had a couple of people ask me if I was ever planning on filming these, and originally I wasn't. But I thought maybe I'm pretty theatrical the way that I talk. I have interesting mannerisms. I like to really get into it. So I thought that might give some extra value to anybody who might want to watch this and listen to it. So I kind of set up this nice little studio. We got our libraries right here. We got a couple books. Then we got our weight rooms right here. Got a nice dumbbell. So what I wanted to do today, the way that I want to attack this podcast, because it is May and it's Mental Health Month, we're not going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about something much more important. All right, we're going to talk about a way to combat mental health. And throughout this podcast, since this one is going to be filmed and videoed, I'm going to have some stuff like pop up. Like right here, there might be something right now that I just don't know what it is yet. And it'll just make it easier, I guess, to understand what I want to say and what I think is important to say. Another thing that I want to try to do is I want to actually make these quicker. I want to make these like 10 minutes, like the most amount, 10 minutes. So they're quicker for you guys to listen to. You can listen to them at work, maybe on a lunch break, maybe on a quick walk. And it just helps you at some point in your day think about something important. That's like my goal for this podcast, to help you with your mental fitness, your physical fitness, which ultimately improves your mental health and your physical health. So mental health is our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It's everything that goes on up top, upstairs. And it affects ultimately how we feel because of our emotional state. It affects how we think because of our psychological state. And then it affects how we act, which is our social state. And so our physical health is really our overall physical condition as an organism. All right, so you can think of the freedom we have from disease or abnormalities, or what state of optimal well-being are you currently in. That is really your physical health. So if I was to ask you, how do you make your physical muscles stronger? What would you say? Most of you are probably thinking, I'd go work out. I'd hit the treadmill, I'd do a HIIT class, I'd do some CrossFit, do some free weights. That's all different forms of physical fitness, right? So physical fitness is really us fighting against any physical piece of stress that we actually decided to apply to our lives. Like you decide to pick up a dumbbell, you decide to go on a treadmill. If you think about actually picking up a dumbbell, say we got a 30-pound dumbbell here. If you were to pick up this 30-pound dumbbell, that is 30 pounds of stress. If you want to do a bicep curl, that is applying to your bicep. And then you do your sets, do your reps, whatever it may be. Now, the same thing goes for a bench press. All right, if you have 135 pounds on your bench, you are deciding to apply 135 pounds of physical stress to your body. The speed of your treadmill, that's the decision you're making to basically fight against that speed. The number of reps, the number of sets. You guys can see where I'm going here. We decide how much physical stress we want to apply when we are trying to improve our physical fitness. Now, your mental side, your mental health or your mental fitness is the same way. The difference, now this is very important, this is a huge piece to how we can really help solve our mental health or improve our mental health. The difference is that the stresses happen every single day and we don't know when they are going to happen to us. They're unpredictable. Now, some of these stresses, I'm going to kind of go through a list of some of these things that stress us out. All right, whether you are a millennial, whether you are a Gen Zer, if you are in that age range from kind of 16 to 38, these are predominantly the things that will probably stress us out. All right, paying your rent on time and just general financial stress and money. Your relationships with your significant other and relationships just in general. Relationships that you want to create or relationships that you want to end. That stresses us out. Performing well at your job. All right, situations where you don't think you have a ton of control over. Lack of control stresses us out. All right, days where you actually have nothing to do, like a lazy Sunday or a lazy Saturday, that actually can stress us out because of those hyperachievers. Shout out those individuals, the individuals who need to achieve something to feel sort of self-validation. Social life. All right, going to a bar. Maybe you see somebody that you don't want to see and boom, you're immediately stressed. All right, going to school. All right, the way we use social media as a highlight reel and a social comparison machine. I'm a firm believer that social media is not the problem. It's the way that we use social media that's currently the problem. Maybe sometimes our routine gets thrown off, or maybe you're constantly thinking, are you doing the right things to support yourself and possibly your family moving forward? All right, like have I made the right career path, the career decisions? Am I doing the right hobbies? Am I hanging out with the right people? All right, or maybe one of the most important of all, you're worried about what others think of you. Okay, so all of those are these mental stresses that can happen completely out of the blue. And then we get overwhelmed, and then we get stressed out, and then we get fearful, and then we get scared. All right, think about this. Our workout is 1 hour of planned physical stress, a physical workout. Say you work out for 1 hour. All right, those are decisions that you have made to apply physical stress to your body. Say, for example, you get 8 hours of sleep in a night. The other 15 hours of your day are completely unpredictable. Now, you may be saying, yeah, but I know I'm going to wake up and have breakfast. I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to come home. I'm going to eat dinner. I'm going to watch TV, and then I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, that's completely true. But you don't know when you're going to get that text that's going to completely throw you off. All right, you don't know when you're going to see that social media post that's going to completely make you rethink your past life decisions. You don't know when you're going to have a work colleague that you're working on a group project with mess something up that's now going to hurt your work performance. Okay, so the only thing that we really have full control over is how we act in those moments of unpredictability. This is the concept of mental fitness. This is our ability to handle these unpredictable stresses with more emotional resilience and curiosity. All right, so just like we make a decision to lift a physical weight, which is basically that physical stress, we can make a decision on how we want to lift that mental weight and how we want to apply more mental strength to it and more awareness. So this is what we actually do. Like when I describe Acres of Diamonds mastermind sessions, group coaching sessions, one-on-one sessions, this is what we try to help people understand is how can we improve our mental fitness? And what we do is we use a program called Positive Intelligence. Now, I think I've mentioned this multiple times before in this podcast, but Positive Intelligence is basically like a P90X for your mind. All right, we all remember P90X. Well, Positive Intelligence is this mental fitness program that improves the way that you look at yourself, others, in all circumstances. Okay, so real quick before I end this, I want us all to think of what a weak body looks like. Maybe it's saggy, maybe it's lazy, maybe it's out of shape. Okay, now I want you to think of what a weak mind looks like. Maybe that mind gets overwhelmed very easily. They're anxious all the time. They're stressed all the time. They're always thinking something bad's going to happen to them. All right, now think of a strong body. You think of someone who's chiseled, someone who's fit, someone who is in shape. Now think of a strong mind. All right, someone who's strong, makes good decisions, goes with their core values, takes everything as it is. They're very aware of things. They're very aware of their thoughts, how they're feeling in certain areas. So that is what this Positive Intelligence program does. And so if you want to actually find out what your mental fitness score currently is, all right, go to aodpq.com. If you're watching this, it's probably up right now. If you are listening to this, I'll put it in the description. Go to aodpq.com. It will give you a representation and a number of what your mental fitness level currently is. When I did this, my mental fitness was at a 52. And I thought I kind of had some stuff figured out, but it looks like I didn't. I went through the full Positive Intelligence program and realized just how important this was to me in those moments where I was overwhelmed and where I was stressed out and anxious. And it ended up changing that score to a mid-80s. So now I look at everything completely different. And that's why I want to help other people in this space realize that we can do so much better with what stresses us out and what makes us anxious and how we can respond to it, how we can respond to those unpredictable moments of life. So because it's May, I wanted to rework this idea of mental health month, and I really want it to be like mental fitness month. And so what we decided to do was this Acres of Diamonds program that we work people through. What we've created is somewhat of an introductory program to it. So it's not the full Acres of Diamonds program. This is just 7 modules that basically introduces mental fitness to you and these concepts of how you can show up with more emotional resilience and more curiosity. So if you are curious about that intro program, we're currently working on it. You could shoot me an email, info@youracresofdiamonds.com. That is info@youracresofdiamonds.com. I'll have it up right here, and then I'll also put it in the bio of the video. I think we can really help the way that we address mental health and what I like to call now mental fitness. All right, because this changed my life, and it changed the many other people that we were fortunate enough to instill this idea and coach them through this idea, and to help them with their anxiety and their mental health. And I want more people to experience this feeling. So, all right, guys, I appreciate tuning in. Episode number 37, Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast, Mental Fitness. Change your mind, change your life. See you guys soon.